Alright, so... Sorry, I have to, move this a little bit because the TV glare is getting on my nerves. Anyways, so, hey guys, it is my weekly check-in. Just wanted to talk to you guys and let you know what's going on. I haven't talked to you since transfer, so, I made the mistake of caving in. I caved in and tested early, which I regret doing now. Because as of right now, I am negative. Now, I still have 4 days until beta. Beta's on Friday, and beta's a blood test for those that are kind of new. Beta is the blood test, which is like the definitive answer, basically. And I just wish that I would have not done this to myself, because now I'm obsessing over it, and that's not good because I'm going to stress myself out, and stress is not good. So I wish I would have never tested early. And some people do and it turns out fine. Some people do it and it's negative, 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 and then they have a positive towards the end of it. Everybody's different. So I'm hoping and praying to the God above that mine is just a situation where it's a late implanter, as they like to call it, which means that I still have my embryo, it's still holding on, but it just hasn't placed itself yet. And my HCG levels are not enough to show up on a urine test. So I keep telling myself that it'll be fine. I keep telling myself that, I've come too far to be defeated now. And, it just sucks. It sucks because I worked so hard to get to this point, and, I need to face the fact that, I might be a repeater. And it's not terrible by any means, and, having to do a second cycle is not the worst thing by any means, because a lot of people have to do that. But what I'm trying to tell myself is that, you know what? I am strong, and I can't let this get in my head. Which is really hard to do. Very hard to do, because it's already in my head. Because I was stupid, and I tested early. So when I tell you, don't be like me, and don't test early, I'm not saying it just to say it. It's for a reason, because your heart is going to be crushed. And it could turn out that it was just too early for the urine. And it could, turn out to be a positive, which we all hope and pray for every single night, I'm sure. But, don't put yourself through this stress. Because the entire day, I took my test in the morning. I went to work. So, of course, the whole day I'm sitting there in my head, oh my God, I failed at this, and how am I going to get over this kind of thing? And it's so much extra problems that you don't want to have to deal with. Because I could have waited and wouldn't be going through this. But no, I had to be an overachiever and jump the gun on it. And now I'm moping around like I lost my puppy. But anyways, I'm still hanging on. I accept whatever God has planned for me. I believe in God, so that's why I make that reference. But if you don't, then whoever your higher power is, or whatever positive vibes you want me to send you, I absolutely do. And that will never change. I will 100% support every single one of you. And I'm not giving up. I don't want you guys to think I'm giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not letting this overpower me. I guess the hardest part is that, like, I am such a positive person, that when I work really hard for something, I know, or I think I know, that it's going to turn out to be the way I want it because I work so hard to do it. And this is one thing in life that you don't have control over. I did everything right, literally by the book. Didn't miss anything, didn't miss an appointment, did every single blood work, the whole 9 yards. And at the end of the day, this is something that your body is just has control over at the end. And you know, it's not a failure. And I think that's what I had to keep telling myself. It's not a failure, because even if this doesn't happen for me right now, it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen for me next time I try. And I do plan on trying again as soon as possible if this one doesn't work. But that's enough of that, because I don't want to get into my head that it's not working. I need to just stay with a positive train of I got this. Sorry, but it's really bad, guys. But anyways, I did want to also address something else that I don't remember. Somebody asked me. I don't remember who it was. Sorry. Which was, how did I get into IVF, or however you want to word it. But I am I'm a wife of a older man, and unfortunately he had some health problems that caused the infertility. So and I also had some health problems as well years ago that kind of like made it a little bit more difficult. So my husband and I have 26 years between us, and we are madly in love like teenagers. So whatever we need to do is what we're gonna do. We established that, like, I think on our third date we were like, hey, we're having kids, and that's that. And we didn't know at the time what was going on, but he was really sick a couple years ago, and some medications just affect male mobility for their sperm and all that. But so we are kind of like male factor and female factor. There's kind of two things that are working against us. Luckily, I was able to get my stuff cleared up, and so with my HSG, sorry, everything looked fine. So I was open, and I didn't have a blockage anymore, and all of that. So everything went well with that, and he is doing a lot better, and he's no longer on all these crazy medications. So we're heading back in the right direction. And I didn't have the option to do IUI or IVF. I'm sorry, I keep saying I, but we did. We chose to do IVF because with the diagnosis that we both have, it was like 20% chance versus like 60%. And obviously I'm going to go for the higher one, which was IVF. So some people will do better with IUI, which is kind of like the starter point. But I kind of wanted like the almost dummy proof version of trying this whole thing. So I was just like, sign me up. So we started June, I think like middle of June is when I like started the birth control and all that stuff. I want to say it was like June 20th or something like that. So June, July, August. So we're at like 2 months now. The whole process pretty much takes 2 months, because you have your birth control, you have the HSG testing, you have your mock trial, then you start the injections, then the constant blood work and all that. So all in all, like, it's probably going to be around 2 months. So if possible, I would recommend trying to pick a time to start it when you have a little bit of flexibility, because you are going to need to take time off. I didn't really plan it that way because I just wanted to go. And my retrieval, as you guys know, was a little bit more difficult. So, I ended up having to use PTO for that. For one day, and I didn't have anything else for the other. So, that sucked. But, if you can kind of work it where you know you don't have anything big planned, like any vacations or anything like that, try to do it around that time. But anyways, it's funny because it's like, we have the most stuff to go through. You know what I mean? Like, women, through this whole entire process, have the most to go through. We're the ones doing the shots, and the constant blood test, and the constant everything, and, you know, my husband's like, so, where do I come in at? And I'm like, well, you kind of have nothing to do besides support me until, retrieval day. That's kind of like when they show up to do their work. So, yeah, it's about you and your partner for sure, but you really need to take in consideration, you know, what you guys have planned, you know, because you don't want to do it necessarily around the holidays, because people are going to be like, why aren't you drinking, or why aren't you doing that? And let me tell you, that is driving me nuts right now. Like, I don't feel like I need to explain myself. If I don't want to drink, and if I don't want to have a cup of coffee, I shouldn't have to sit there and go through a back and forth conversation about it. Like, just respect the fact that that's not what I'm doing right now in my life. End of discussion. Because it drives me absolutely nuts. Like, just be like, okay, that's cool. And that's it. Why do we need to why? Why do you need to ask me 7 different ways why I don't feel like having a drink? Because I don't feel like it. Sorry if that doesn't really work with your plans, but it's just, it's annoying. And being hormonal and having people agitate you is like Shark Week all over again. Because it's like, grrr. Anyways, I'm like literally all over the place today because my mind's just 1,000 different places. So I wanted to address that, kind of like our background story of how we got into IVF. I'm trying to think of other questions you guys have asked me. Somebody asked me one the other day. Oh, why did I decide to, sorry. It was either like why I decided, to do it in the dead of summer. I think somebody asked me or whatever. Like I just mentioned, I just wanted to start as soon as possible. You know, it's not like, to me, it's not really a seasonal thing. It's more like whatever you have going on in your life. And I am a nurse, so no time is really convenient, but I just talked to my husband about it, and I talked to him to see what he wanted to do, and of course he's like, let's get on the board. So I didn't really plan it for a time frame. And side effects. I think I've kind of brought those up as I've had them. Can't talk again today, sorry. Sorry, my dog's like losing his mind. I had the major side effect from the egg retrieval, but that was just specific to my case. And I have noticed that I have a lot of swelling. So, like, a lot of fluid retention going on right now. Which is one of the side effects from estradiol. So, that's not fun. Because I feel like I'm already bloated, but now I feel like I'm double bloated because of this water weight. My, like, legs hurt more. My body just overall feels kind of heavy. And I refuse to get on the scale because there's no point in doing that when you're on hormones because you're going to just cry. So, don't do that. And if I want to have to do the frozen transfer, people kind of warned me about the PIO, which is progesterone and oil, that it can kind of cause like irritation or some itchiness or whatever. And if that's the worst of it, then I'm fine with that. Because Menopur burned. So I'd rather have itching than burning. But anyways, to wrap up this all over the place video, which is not me at all, because normally I'm pretty on point with whatever topic I want to talk about, but today's just not a normal day. So, to sum everything up, in conclusion, as they say in school, don't test early, and just know that the 2-week wait is going to be the hardest thing that you're going to have to do. Because waiting sucks. Bad. But at least you don't have to go through the ups and downs of a roller coaster on top of a roller coaster that you're already on. So just wait. And I will absolutely update you guys on Friday. I go Friday morning, but I work Friday, so it probably won't be until evening time like it is right now. So I'll update you guys Friday, let you know what's going on, and just know that at no point should any of us, including myself, allow our spirits to be compromised. Because we are all strong women who are going through the toughest fight of our lives. And I just need to tell myself that. And I need to stay hopeful and pray that I'm just a late implanter and everything is in God's hands. So, sorry for the video that's kind of all over the place, but that's just me today. But I'm just hoping and praying that things turn around. So that's where I am right now, and I want to wish you guys a wonderful evening, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message or ask below the video or whatever you would like to do. I love engaging with you guys because it not only gives me like a venting session, but it also allows me to meet new people. And that's kind of what I wanted to do, was to break that stereotypical, like, keep it hush hush, because this is an empowering process and we deserve to be screaming from a mountaintop, to be honest. But anyways, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm sprinkling lots of baby dust on you. So, have a wonderful evening, guys, and I will talk to you on Friday. See ya.